Hello, welcome to PAXTON Road TV. I am Sam Spurs for Life, and this is your PAXTON Road TV preview show for the game against Middlesbrough tomorrow in the FA Cup 5th round. I don't like how it looks at the moment. Let's get it onto this first. That's better. We can do that in a bit. Welcome in the house, my compatriot, my compadre, Sean A. Hurl. Welcome, Sean A. I'm going to add the accent today. I just feel like doing that. I've got a bad back, so I've got to try and make myself laugh somehow. In some way, shape, or form.
Welcome to the Old Croc Show.
Welcome to the Old Boy Show. Oh, dear. I must say, people, if you're watching, back pain is no fun. I've got a little bit, and I'm sat down here, but I'm going to try my best. Anyway, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, PAXTON Road TV. Hit that like button now if you're watching live. Make sure you subscribe to us as well. Myself and Sean will try to go through a bit of the preview for the game tomorrow. So, yeah, welcome, Sean. This is 5th round of the FA Cup. As you get deeper and deeper into the rounds of the FA Cup, you start to think of Wembley, your Wembley way. We still got, obviously, 6th round to go. But we've got to take care of business first against Middlesbrough. Inconsistency. That's the name of the game with Spurs. We are, at this moment in time, up and down, in and out, round and round. We've had some really good performances and then games that you think Dr. Tottenham always turns up and provides you with the right amount of medicine. And we've had that against Burnley. And then they go and do what we normally think we should do against Leeds. Even though Leeds was a game which was predictable, I still think it was a very good performance. What are you expecting for the bag of revels that is Spurs? What are you expecting tomorrow?
There's always one revel which when I bite into it, I go, and probably I'm probably expecting that tomorrow night. Yeah, I mean, I think we've said that this is the I would take this trophy in 17th this season. I don't think that's popular amongst the wider Spurs fan base. But you know, silver trophy at the end of the season. It goes against the record. I was looking at the year 1986-87 last night, doing a bit of prep for another walk down memory lane, and you know, we were brilliant that season, but nothing, you know. And you know, it's just I would take the FA Cup in a heartbeat.
100%. I don't know why people don't, but go on, finish. Sorry, finish your point.
No, it's just you know, I mean, I was jealous as I was trying to keep it clean here. Jealous as hell, really, when Leicester were running around Wembley with the cup last May. I won't deny it, you know, and you know, well deserved to them. You know, great goalkeeping performance and an absolute belter of a winner. You know, I would want that. I'd want that absolutely. 100%. I want to see young Spurs fans seeing us win something. I mean, I'm 61 coming up, and it's you know, it's part of my formative, you know, following the club. You know, from 1967 seeing Dave Mackay pick up the FA Cup in May with a 2-1 win against Chelsea. So yeah. Let's go and win the cup, please.
I don't know all this. Like we're too good for the FA Cup. We should be concentrating on top 4. You just got to look at yesterday, the way that their 2 teams performed in the Carabao Cup, Liverpool and Chelsea, both of which have won higher honours in recent memory. And you even have to take Manchester City into consideration, having won that trophy 5 times out of the last 6 years. These domestic trophies should be taken as seriously as anything, in my opinion, and the reason I say that is when we can't pick and choose what competitions that we want to take part in. You know, we're not going to win the league. I know there's a race for top 4, but again, we've been in the top 4, we've got to the Champions League final, and we don't have anything. At the end of the day, runners up isn't winning. The mentality, and I've mentioned this several times, and we've talked about this on stream before, it's the mentality shift. It has to be a mentality shift within the club. You know, the last trophy of significance, 2001. You know, the last FA Cup, 1991. That's too long. That's far too long for us to then, oh, well, let's chase top 4. What do you get for top 4? Nice Champions League games that we can play next season against the likes of Bayern Munich or possibly Real Madrid and all the rest of those good teams that are in there, Atletico Madrid, blah, 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 blah. Are we going to win the Champions League next season? Very unlikely. Could we win something this season? We could. We've got the FA Cup. That should be the focus. Sorry for those who are watching thinking, oh, what's he talking about? But that's how I see it. You know, as you said, 17th and an FA Cup, I'm happy in that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and you know, it's long overdue. It's just long overdue. And I think it's you know, it's incumbent on the players to. I know they want to win. I mean, I would imagine Kane. If Kane was to win in May, he would be over the moon. If over the moon, he would be over. You know, and it would cement the it would cement his bond with the club even a little bit more if it could be. But I you know, this dismissing the FA Cup because it's, you know, we could scrape into fourth and get our asses handed to us in every group game, and that we're out of Europe by Christmas. You know, where does that take us? You know, I mean, the amount of investment that we would need to sustain a Champions League run next season is is off the scale. You know, and I know there's been discussions with Levy and Conte, but you know, I can't see that happening, and I don't want to be embarrassed in Europe, but I'd like our younger fans than me to see us win a trophy this year, and that's why we need to take tomorrow seriously.
We have to, because I think, like I said, if Conte stays and he's with us next season, yeah, he's going to prioritize winning something, and I would imagine he's a league man. He hasn't, say he's not done well in Europe, but he has not won it. He's not won Champions League. He's not won Europa League, I don't think. So he's not necessarily a European manager of stature, although I would imagine the stature that he has got, we would do well. But like you said, the amount of investment just to stand still for next season, let alone push on and compete in Champions League and the league and any other trophies, is going to take a monumental amount of money. I don't think we're cut out for that squad-wise, and I don't think we're going to spend that money to be able to focus on four fronts like all the other teams, Chelsea, the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool can. Even Man United are struggling in that department, and they've got relative wealth, you know, so it's not an easy thing to balance everything up. But yet we're kind of saying, oh, well, the FA Cup should matter. No, not everybody. Some fans are saying, well, we should prioritize top four. Well, I don't know why. We ain't won nothing. We're not going to win anything by getting top four. You might get a few extra players saying, oh, I'm interested in Spurs, but they'd only be interested in Spurs, A, if you're going to pay them well, and B, so they can showcase themselves in the Champions League. We ain't going to win the Champions League next season. Let's be honest with you. That's enough ranting and raving about that. Let's get on to more positive things. We are in the FA Cup, Sean, and we've got Middlesbrough tomorrow. So let us take a look at a few things. So previous round to Tottenham Hotspur, we played Brighton in the last round. We won that 3-1. That was the fourth round. In January, we played Morecambe 3-1. A little bit of a scare in that game, but we got through it. Tomorrow's game is against Middlesbrough away at the Riverside Stadium. Just looking what Middlesbrough have done. Again, don't know too much about their league season, but I do know they beat Man United on penalties in the last round, 8-7 on penalties. And the previous round, in the third round, they beat Mansfield Town away. So, yeah, championship team doing okay, I would imagine. Do you know where they are in the championship at the moment? Anybody put that?
Last I looked, it was about 8th, I think. You know, but they've had a good turn of results in recent weeks and are going upwards in the table. So, but I mean, it could be slightly higher than that. But the last time I looked, it was about 8th. Okay,
so top half-ish type team. You know, top 8s possibly could get into the playoffs this season. So no mugs. You know, no, they're not going to be any mugs. They're going to be a team, again, if they've got a 1-1 draw against Man United at Old Trafford and managed to get through on penalties, it's a team that's going to be, you know, competent, shall we say. But would you say if we then put a strong team out, we should be winning this game? Are you confident we should get the victory tomorrow, Sean?
Yeah, we should get the victory. You know, I mean, we'll have better players than them. It's just, you know, that we don't allow their enthusiasm, because they'll bring enthusiasm in truckloads to the game tomorrow. We don't let them put us under pressure. We just concentrate on what we're going to do, Conte today was saying that he expects his team, our team, to be strong, and no doubt we'll get into that. And I'm, I'll hope we'll see us progress, and then we're in the 6th round, and then you're what, 3 games from the final?
Yep, quarter-final, semi-final, and then the final. So win tomorrow, you're into the 6th round, effectively quarter-final, which it is. And then, like you said, it's 3 games. It's 3 games from there. And if you think about it, just looking at the teams, and I haven't looked at the teams, but I'm just going to have a quick look to see if I can see the teams that's still involved in the FA Cup, just so people are aware. And I'm not going to put this on screen, but I'm just going to read them out. So we've still got the likes of Peterborough, Manchester City, Crystal Palace, Stoke, as I said, Middlesbrough, Tottenham, Luton Town, Chelsea, Southampton, West Ham, Liverpool, Norwich, Everton, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, Huddersfield. So there's it's a lottery of who you might get in the next round. You never know. But again, it's about winning your next game. Can we win this next game given our inconsistencies? And that's what we've got to get around. So again, making some changes tomorrow. Are you concerned, Sean, that too many changes might disrupt the formula that we have? But, bearing in mind the Burnley result and then obviously onto the Leeds result. Are changes going to be needed? And if so, how many changes would you be looking to make?
I would probably go with the basis of the team that played on Saturday lunchtime. Maybe you might bring in some changes. I mean, a lot of the players that were on our bench, the young players, are playing tonight for the under-23s at the stadium. So I don't think we'll see a lot of the young players be brought in. So we've not got Bentancur, we've not got Skip. So that kind of leaves us with just Højbjerg and Winks. I would like to see Sessegnon and Doherty get another go because they had a good game on Saturday. You can't, no one can deny that. Sessegnon seems to be particularly favoured by Conte. There's talk of a new contract today. There's maybe a place for Bergwijn, there's maybe a place for Mora, and other players who've, maybe Rodon in defence. I don't know. I mean, it's. I trust Conte to work with his. I'm sure he works very closely with his sports science and his medical science people, and he'll have a team ready to do the job tomorrow night.
I think after his outburst, which looks like it was a designed outburst, although we were all kind of shocked at the time. He's kind of not backtracked, but he's certainly qualified what he said. Did he have anything? Because like I said, I've not seen the interview. You've seen it. Was there anything more around about that sort of thing in terms of Spurs' inconsistency, in terms of Conte long term? Because they picked up on this. Obviously, we had a lot of sound bites from Conte. Is there still more of that happening now in terms of the press conference today?
Well, I have watched the press conference in full. As you know, it's probably dominated by what's going on in the Eastern Europe at the moment. But and Conte was asked for his wisdom on the thing. I mean, I must admit, it does seem a bit mad to ask Guy to talk about his feelings in his second language, but that's the media, unfortunately for you. He did say, and I'm sure this will go down well with some, that he wasn't desperate to win the FA Cup. And he also said, and it's going to be very, very difficult. And he pointed out to the fact that Manchester City and Liverpool and these clubs are still in the trophy, in with a chance. And it's very difficult to get past them.
Yeah.
And he talked a lot about the quality that was on display at Wembley yesterday. And what a fine advert that was for football, but look at the levels of those two clubs, So and he was, I mean, you could say that it was he was trying to dampen down expectations, but he would like to win the FA Cup. He's a winner.
He's a winner, Sean.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's probably, as you said, dampening down expectations. If he comes out and says, That's the priority this season. We're going to win the FA Cup. We're going to win the FA Cup based on the fact of our team's inconsistency. It's going to look rather silly of him to do that if he can't rely on players to turn up to games. I'm hoping now that because of the basis what he's put on, that the outbursts and the sound bites that we've all got, he said he wants the players to be angry, but he doesn't want them to have too much more than that. Use that as a fuel, use that as energy to put into the next round or into the next game, which we saw to some degree against Leeds. Leeds are very open, Leeds are very expansive, so it was almost like, yeah, you know what's going to happen. Tomorrow's game is going to be very interesting to see the attitude of the players, given what's been said and given the fact that we have to win. It's another game that we have to win, in my opinion. I don't think, there's a... If we go out, we go out, I know, but to me, it'll be a massive missed opportunity not to be able to progress in this game.
Oh, I don't want to go out to a team that's in the lower division.
Oh,
I mean, you can live with losing to the City or a Chelsea or a Liverpool, but you don't want to lose tomorrow.
And this is the point, because we've seen that in the big games for the Cities, the Liverpools, that we have performed, because those are the teams that come at us. Those are the teams where maybe the underdogs, we're the ones who happen to play more of a counter-attacking style, which suits the players that we've got, which suits the style of football that we currently play in. Tomorrow's game, unless I don't know much about Middlesbrough in terms of their dominance, but I can not imagine that they're going to be the team that's going to dominate possession against us. So we're going to have to take the game to them. It's going to then show us the attitude for these players. So this comment here from Mojo, I think he'll save Sessegnon and Doherty for Everton game, first choice wing backs now. That leads nicely into this part of the show where we look at my predicted lineup. This is nothing to do with Sean, so don't blame him if you don't like the lineup. Those watching, we are going to discuss it now. He doesn't know what's going to appear on here. I do. So, Mr. Hill, from the top, I think Lloris, is it safe to say Lloris is going to be in goal for us tomorrow? I'm not sure Galini's going to feature.
Galini's not available.
Oh, there you
go. So I don't think he's going to play Austin, and I think Austin's playing for the under-23s tonight.
He's not playing.
So, yeah, I think Lloris plays, yeah.
100% he's not playing Austin. If Galini's not available, that would have been the potential, but no, he's going with Lloris tomorrow because of that. And why not? We haven't got another game after tomorrow until next week, Monday, anyway. So in terms of rest and everything, it shouldn't be a problem, particularly for a goalkeeper. However, I think there needs to be some changes just to give some of these other players an opportunity to prove themselves as well. Hence the reason why I put this guy in. Not the most popular choice. I can see what you're doing. I did exactly the same thing when I put his name on there. I thought, no, we can't do that. But then I'm thinking, do we really want to say? And I put the back three in so you can see it. I've got Dyer and I've got Davis. If we had Romero, which would be the normal back three, Romero, Dyer, and Davis, you wouldn't want to see an injury to Dyer. You wouldn't want to see an injury to Romero. So it's almost damage limitation for me. Sanchez has proven he can play with Dyer, provided Dyer is leading him. If there's any other combination of Sanchez without Dyer in there, I'm not so sure. What's your thoughts about the back three?
Yeah, I mean, Dyer picks himself nowadays, and that's a big change, a big step change. His involvement into a really good central back three centre back has been come a long way. Given that we bought him as a midfielder, and he started at a fullback, so he's certainly versatile, yeah. But he seems to have made that position his own. I like Mole Jones' call for Rodon over Davis, but
I would have 100%.
I would probably still go with Davis because of him being naturally left-footed.
Correct.
And Sanchez has, as we know, you and I know, that he's not allowed to go to the left of the centre spot, at any time,
At any time in life, not even to go and visit, not even to go and do a pitch, walk around the pitch. Do not go on the left.
Not even to back up one of his mates who's just been chopped down in the defence. Just stay on the right hand side.
Stay on this side of the pitch. Where is it? Yeah. Stay on this side of the pitch, Sanchez. Yeah. I think there's going to be one change in the defence. the reason I would say that Rodon, and I would have put Rodon in there, we haven't seen him. And if he's not been seen, even in a substitute appearances, why would Conte suddenly put him in tomorrow? Unless, of course, there was an injury to somebody or he felt that he could play him. I don't know what Rodon's done. But because of that, as you said, natural left-sided player, I'm putting Davies, but I'm going to make Romero because I don't want to see Romero get injured. I don't want to see Guy get injured, but...
It wasn't Rodon's last appearance as a sub against Brighton in the last round.
Yeah, you're right. It was. He didn't start. He came as a sub.
He didn't start, but he'll probably be on the bench. Yeah, I would think.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Okay, so back three is give or take. And again, you could throw in any players you want in there. I just think that, potentially, if I'm looking towards another game and looking towards maybe making sure that some of these players get some game time and get some confidence as well, I'm just going to say that is a back three. But it could be Dyer in there. Sorry, could be Romero in there. You could put Rodon in there. But I hope we don't see the strongest back three tomorrow. I just don't want to see any injuries. Anyway, let's move on. I put the wing backs in. I've gone with these two. And just based on what Mojo said, these are the reason why I've changed it. Wing back is probably one of the hardest positions in the team. The wing backs that played against Leeds did play very well, but it was a lot. It was a lot of effort. Anything mentioned about Regulon in the press conference today, Sean? You're on mute.
Myself there to stop people getting deafened by my choking. Regulon is recovered, but I didn't get the overwhelming impression that he was, starting. But it could be that he was, he was just keeping his cards a bit close to his chest there. He did speak well of Doherty when he was asked by Ali Gold today. So he did kind of, indicate that he was happy with what he'd done on Saturday. But yeah, I could see Emerson getting a run because I thought against City, Emerson wasn't that bad actually.
Yeah, with Emerson, I've thought about that. As I said, I've probably been a bit emotional sometimes after games when he's played, saying he can't defend, he can't attack. He's a player that is more of a defender than he is an attacker, and Doherty's probably the opposite. He's more of an attacker than he's a defender. Tomorrow, you'd expect us to be on the ball more and expect us to be attacking more. Mm-hmm. I know what Doherty can do now, and I know what Sessegnon can do. Yeah, we could play him to get the more confidence, but I want to give this guy a chance now. Can he do it at any level that's lower than the Premier League? I want to see that.
But you know what I'm looking at? And I'm looking at Sanchez and Emerson.
I know.
And that has been, particularly in the Premier League, has been a recipe for disaster because if they press those two, if Middlesbrough press those two, they'll get something out of it,
Now the more you've talked about that, the aerial threat as well, which if those two did play, we've seen them two together aerially, even though
it's clearing lines, they're not good at breaking a press between them, Sometimes Sanchez will get it sort of right in the corner and hoof it down the line.
Yeah.
But often it's they get caught in little triangles, and unless they can switch it wide left quickly, I don't they seem to get it's almost like they're playing with their laces of their boots tied together.
Yeah. As I said, I'm not sure how, but how Boro play, I don't know. I'm going to make the assumption that they are, they're going to put crosses in. They're going to be very, physical, very aerial. That's a bit of a cliche because it's a championship. So I don't know. They may play really good football. Morecambe played really good football. So, I don't know. But if I'm honestly thinking about it, the way that, the majority of teams, if they're not going to have possession, they're going to rely on getting crosses in. They're going to rely on set pieces. This might be a problem for us. So again, it does depend on their approach to the game. But I'm putting them in there because I want to see. We have to see, because if we do get injuries, Sean, one of these two might have to come in anyway. Well, both of them. That's
true. That's so true.
So for that reason, I want to see. Right, into the midfield. Unless Skip's remarkably made a recovery and Bentancur's made a recovery, which either of them two I don't believe have, unless he changes something and brings in a youngster. I don't think that's going to be the case either. So I'm going to go with Winks Naissance and Højbjerg. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, judging from the press conference, these two are nailed on. He did give the impression that Bentancur's injury is not quite as bad as first thought. And he also said that Skip is closer to returning to the team, in terms of training, but again, not, a little way away from being able to play. So,
well, that's good.
That's good that Bentancur is closer to recovering, that his injury's not as bad. But I think we've got no choice. And as I say, he's playing Harvey White and other players for the under-23s tonight against Leeds United at the stadium. So I don't think they're coming in.
I think it's because, because we've got this game Monday week against, next Monday, should I say, against Everton. Had it been the game on Saturday, I would have been concerned that playing these two again after playing against Leeds, because you have to work against Leeds. So they worked well. I think those two did play well. There was a lot of spaces in that midfield. They had to cover a lot of ground because the way that Leeds play, if you have to disrupt them, you have to pull players out of position. So they had to work in that midfield area. They weren't stationary. And as we know, they're probably both not the most mobile, not the most athletic players in the world between the two of them. Yeah, I would have been concerned had we had a game at the weekend. But because it's Monday, that extra couple of days makes me think that even if Bentancur and Skip weren't available for Everton, we could still probably have these two cementing their position in the centre of midfield. Winks, your thoughts on Winks?
Winks plays better in a 3. I mean, I have a soft spot for Winks, but I know he plays better in a 3. I can't say that his performance on Saturday was brilliant. I mean, that part, the pre-assist for the first goal was with his weaker foot was absolutely deadly. He was poor against Burnley, but then many were poor against Burnley, in terms of not being at the races. But yeah, my concern is it's more of a Burnley style approach that we'll face tomorrow. Let's hope the weather. I hope there's no driving rain and all that kind of thing.
We can't be doing that with Spain, with Spurs. I hope it don't rain. Oh my God, this is what I'm saying. But we're up in the northeast. It's going to be.
I've been there a few times. Yeah,
it's a nice stadium. And it really is.
They make a lot of noise. I've seen some great performances up there. I saw a great Berbatov goal back in the past, and in the days when away tickets were a bit more easily available. Yeah. You could get to, it was from up here in Glasgow. It was a fantastic day out, But yeah, I think and obviously we've sold out of our 3,000 seats, 3,000 tickets, whatever it is. So we'll be noisy. We'll be noisy.
They'll be singing. It's a long road trip, but it's going to be worth it if we win it. So just to let people know that Sam's predicted, like Noak said, Sean has had no input into this, so blame me if you want to blame anybody. So we're just discussing that. So goalkeeper at the present time, I'm saying Lloris, Sanchez, Dyer, Davis making up that back 3. Could throw in Road on there. You could throw in, potentially. Again, did he mention anything about Tanganga? Is he still unavailable?
Tanganga is still unavailable. Yeah,
That's fine. Okay. Well, so yeah, back 3. If it's not the strongest back 3, I can see at least one change in there. Into the 4 in front: Emerson, Winks, Højbjerg, Reguilon. The 2 wing backs being Emerson and Reguilon. Winks and Højbjerg, the 2 midfielders. Onto the front line then. This guy, I think it's his play. Again, the way I've seen him adapt in the last couple of games, he looks like he's getting better and better. Let's now see what it would happen if he played another cold night up in the north as what we had against Burnley. Let's see if he's now acclimatized to that type of playing. I'd like to see what he does.
He is Swedish. as the song goes, give me a ginger from Sweden,
That song.
That song is just outrageous.
But it is outrageous. Kulusevski, do you think he's settled enough to be a first team starter now going forward?
Yeah, I mean, you can't fault. I mean, he was he was probably the closest. Well, apart from Kane's header off the bar against Burnley, he was the closest to scoring with that curled chance that sort of hit the outside of the post. He seems to, he's very good on the ball, and he's strong, and he'll need to be strong tomorrow because he'll be getting some industrial, agricultural like challenges tomorrow, no doubt.
Yeah, and this is what I want to see. I want to see how he deals with that because the game against Burnley, it was difficult, but it was difficult for everybody. It wasn't so you can't single him out and say, well, he didn't. Everybody was underperforming, and it's now that reaction. It's now right now you know what to expect from a cold night up in the northeast, northwest, wherever it was that we're going to be playing. It's northeast tomorrow. Can we turn up? Can Kulishevsky with his new Ginger Sweden song turn up and play and perform like how he has done against Leeds? I think he can. I'm putting this guy in there now, Stevie Bergwijn. I think Son or Kane needs the rest tomorrow. The way that Mr. Conte talks about Kane is like it doesn't matter what happens. It could be anything, earthquakes, tornadoes, whatever. Kane is playing one-legged. The way he talks about him, he's playing. So I think of the two, and I don't want both of them starting tomorrow. I'm honest with you, I don't want both of them because I think we can bring one of them on if we need to. I'm going with Son to get the rest and Bergwijn to go in as another one of these 10s, the 2 10s that now Conte's playing. Of course, then that means Kane being up front. Front three, what would your choices be?
I find it hard to disagree with that front three. And I like Bergwijn. I think he's a class act. I thought he helped us close out the game on Saturday. And he's, he progresses with the ball, and sometimes we might need that. I don't think he is as headless as our Brazilian alternative, who I remember Conte said is not available. Moore is not available tomorrow, so yeah, I think Bergwijn will possibly get the nod if he's going to give Son and Kane the night off, or one of the two off. Maybe I would have Kulusevski more as a 10 and Kane and Bergwijn alongside each other. Maybe have them in.
Yeah.
Or make it even make it fluid and allow Kane to drop and put the balls in for the other two.
Yeah.
Certainly. I mean, certainly Bergwijn could do the running as we saw in the game against Leicester.
Yes. Yeah. The way that I've seen the team playing it's got this 3-4-3 with this almost like box formation between the two midfielders and these two number 10s. They've got a way of playing. So I've seen now they've got the defensive shape, which goes back into a 5-4-1. You'll have Emerson and Reguilon going back in. You had Højbjerg and Winks getting tight, and then Kulusevski, and it was Son on the other side going back in to make that 4. And then you've got Kane. When they break out, Kane has been dropping into this midfield area. They've got patterns of play which are distinct, and these two, in operating as number 10, are on their bikes. Immediately, Kane gets onto that. So there's patterns there, but there's this subtleties that they're beginning to play. Kulusevski being good on the ball. We saw from the way he got that goal against Leeds. He can maneuver himself. He can get himself out of problems. He can get into shooting areas, and he can finish, which is what we've been lacking from people other than Son and Kane. The same can be said of Bergwijn. He can put the ball in the back of the net, as we've seen. Just not sure if he's been given enough opportunities. And again, he's another player that relies on confidence. Do you think that if he is given a bit of a run, that Bergwijn could be that little bit of extra stardust that we need just to add on to the Kulusevskis, add on to the Son, add on to the Kane?
I think, I mean, it's well known. I prefer Bergwijn over Moura. If anyone was to depart in the summer, I would say cheerio, Lucas. Thank you very much for your efforts. But I'm keeping our Dutch boy. But it's he does survive on confidence. I think he's got quite a good. I think he's well liked within the squad. I get from post-match interviews he's done after the Leicester game. Him and Kane seem quite good together. I think we could. I would like to see him play tomorrow. Yeah, get a chance and give Son a night off. maybe on the bench.
One of them's got a rest. If we play Kulusevski, Kane, and Son, I'm just thinking, not because I don't want them to play, and not because they shouldn't start, but you know what it is with Spurs. We'll get unlucky with something, and one of them will pull up injured. Just like with the Bentancur thing, he slips, potentially could have been out for a few weeks. That's all it takes. That's all it will take. A little bit of a, should we have played in doing... we want to win, but should we have to have Kane and Son playing to win this game tomorrow? I don't think we should, but we'll see. Just go through that starting 11. Sam's predicted lineup. Lloris in goal, Sanchez, Dyer, Davis making up the back three, Emerson and Reguilon being the wing backs, Winks and Højbjerg the two midfielders, centre midfielders, Kulusevski, Bergwijn as the 10s, with Kane operating in the 9 as the front three. We'll see. We'll see tomorrow.
I mean, I'm looking at that picture there, Sam, and I can see where Sanchez was on that diagram. You can see that's the place where Kane released that pass for Son for the 4th goal he was that far deep, so he'll be all over the place. But I just want him to be on the end of things and putting the ball in the back of the net and getting the tie put to bed early. Please.
Mojo, rest Davis, put Rodon in for him. That again, there's nothing wrong with that, Mojo, at all. Bloody hell, don't let Sanchez over to the left. He'll be dancing on ice again. He's not allowed to ever go on the left-hand side.
He should be made to watch the NS Mura night. Oh, God. Do you remember that? Sanchez
I've tried to block that out of my memory banks as much as possible, but I do remember it, Sean. It's one of them things. People get on his back, but you've got to say Winks did play well. Yeah, he did. And this is where we have to give credit where credit is due. We need these players. So as much as
Conte counting on Winks, he said it at several press conferences now. He's a player I can count on.
Yeah, he said that about Sisson as well. Yeah. Player you can trust. And he uses the word trust. And that's a very big thing for Conte to you, because if he don't trust you, you're not playing. And I think that might go down to something where Rodon's not getting even substitute. He might not trust him. He might not trust him for whatever reason, because everybody else seems to have been given an opportunity. We've seen Sanchez have some really bad games, but he's been given an opportunity again to come back in. We've seen Emerson not play fantastically well. I know we're limited on the amount of players we can play at wing back, but he's been given opportunities. You can go through the midfield and say exactly the same thing. So I just don't want to marginalize certain players that we might need. So I would like to see Rodon come in.
And it's not to say that they might be moved on in the summer, but it's
interesting. We're gonna have to do this bit. You know what bit's coming now, don't you? Right? I'm putting it up. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Oh,
how confident are you? I'll go first then. That's how confident I am. I'm not that confident. No, I am confident. I am confident. I'm gonna say it with my chest. It's out. It's out. We're gonna win this game. It's not going to extra time. It's not going to penalties. I think again, it's very important that the team structure they're together. They need to be together. They can't let the frailties of Burnley come through. I don't think Conte will allow them to do that tomorrow. So I expect effort. I expect desire. I expect, even if it was to go 1-0 down, that this team will put the effort in to come back. But I don't think Middlesbrough will score. I'm going for a 2-0. I'm going for a 2-0. Relatively comfortable. But I'm not going massively more confident than that. 2-0 for Spurs from Sam Spurs for life. Sean.
Okay. I'm going for the same goal difference, but I think it will be 3-1. I think it'll be 3-1.
3-1 the Spurs.
Oh, well, at least I'm hoping it'll be 3-1. But yeah, I'm saying 3-1.
Again, I think and the reason why I've gone 2-0 and lower scoring is because I think we'll probably not see both Kane and Son. If we do, I'm very, very confident in that being at least a score tomorrow. But if we've got some changes, that's my little concern. Just seeing how we gel in them early stages of the game. When the pressure's applied by balls maybe getting thrown in, who's in our back line? Does it consist of Sanchez with somebody else that's not Dyer, which might then make my whole 2-0 prediction change. But looking at that team, and I'll put the team back up there because just for viewers that can't see. Looking at that team here, there's enough in there to win 2-0. Surely there's enough in there to win 2-0 against Middlesbrough because they might not play their full strength team. They might make some changes. So, yeah, both teams may make some changes. It might not be a priority for them. It should be a priority for us. 2-0, 3-1, next round of the cup. Who would you want in the next round? Let's play a little bit of that. Who would you want in the next round of the cup? I'll go through them teams again just to let you know who's in there. Let me see if I can get it back up.
Can we get Arsenal?
Oh, you shouldn't have done that.
I should have done that. No, I can see Gunner King on my case already now.
I'm sharing this. You might not be able to see it too well, viewers at home, but I'm going to read it out. So we've got Peterborough still in there. We've got Manchester City, Crystal Palace, Stoke, Middlesbrough, Tottenham, obviously, Luton, Chelsea, Southampton, West Ham, Liverpool, Norwich, Everton, and Boreham Wood. Nottingham Forest and Huddersfield Town. So please, Boreham Wood beat Everton. I'll take Boreham Wood now. That's what I'm having.
Just a home draw. Just a home draw.
I like that. Keep things in perspective, Sean. Keep everything
just a home draw. You know, I don't know whether replays come into play in the 6th round onwards. I think there might be. There's no replay tomorrow.
I think it's only for isn't it for semi-finals? I don't know if it's quarterfinals. I think quarterfinals is one leg as well. Might be wrong. Anybody in the comment section, feel free to put it up. Do we have replays from the 6th round onwards, or is it just from semi-finals onwards? I don't know. Sanchez with Emerson, a recipe for disaster. You're not wrong there, Eugene. Nice team, Sam. Just worried what Sean highlighted, right side defense with Winks, as well as he seems to just drop into the box and stand about. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Jack is also saying Sanchez is Bambi on grass, but what is it like on ice? Perhaps a Colombian figure skating superstar. that's
My cheeky. God.
Jack's on some cheeky ones. John Fernandez saying 2-0 to Spurs. Muljo saying 3-0. Kane 2, Bergie 1. Jack saying 2-0 as well. So people are going confident, or as confident as you can do with Tottenham. I'm not expecting to see Dr. Tottenham tomorrow. Dr. Tottenham, you have got the night off tomorrow. See you in a few weeks' time, probably, but not tomorrow. I'm saying that we're going to win this game tomorrow. Confidence has to be the case. Sean, confident?
Yeah, come on. We're a cup-winning team. Let's get back on that case.
Let's get back on it. Final thoughts from you then regarding Spurs. And yeah, our chances for the actual cup in itself. Is it something? I know it's something we want to win. I know something you want to win, and the glory days of Spurs of winning the cup. But we've not won it in over 30 years. Is it our year?
It's never our year until the day that they've all got their suits on. You know. I mean, even in '91, I went to the first round away at Blackpool. And we won 1-0, I think it was, or 2-1. It was. I just remember getting the wind was coming in off the Irish Sea, and we were getting covered in shit, literally shit coming off the sea because of the sewage that goes into that part of the bloody Lancashire coast. But yeah, it was a mad day. I remember the goalkeeper kicking the ball out from a goal kick and the ball nearly clearing his own crossbar and things like this. It was just bonkers, but I never thought we'd be in the final, but we did. And thankfully Des Walker of Enfield helped us to the victory in the end. But it's let's hope let's have City and Chelsea drawn together. Let's have the other teams drawn against each other, knocking each other out.
Obviously the draw's all important. We avoid the big boys, and we'll have to again. Each game as it comes, the old cliche: take one game at a time. The draw will sort itself out. All the rest of it, we have to do that. Mojo saying, enjoyed it, Sam, Sean. Well done. Thank you very much. So a big shout out to those of you watching. Mojo, as always, thank you very much. Alexander Hilton, John Fernandez. The truth sets you free. Jack and Nikki. Thank you very much. Eugene as well in the house. Who else is in the house? Dino Donosaur, again, a regular viewer. Michael Bennett watching us. Views on Spurs. Simply Ace. Welcome, Simply Ace Michael. I've mentioned you already. I think that does it. That does it for now. Before we go, though, make sure you hit that like button for those watching now. And if you're
subscribe,
watching,
subscribe.
As the man said, subscribe. Keep subscribing. And yeah, like and share. Get the comments out there. We've got the show tomorrow, reaction show following the game. The game kicks off at 5 to 8. So bearing in mind there shouldn't be an extra time because we've gone confident, no extra time. We should be about 5 past 10. We'll be on air to go through the show.
and the great victory, Sam.
And a great victory. A great victory indeed. That's what I'm getting. famous last words. I won't get my teeth in. Famous last words, as we always do. But no, I think if the penny hasn't dropped with these players now, in terms of the outburst that Conte's had and the way he said he wants players to fight, we've seen that they can do it. I don't want to have any excuse. Performances, I don't want to have any excuses. Results-wise, we can have that. But tomorrow, I want to see the team go out and perform. If we match exactly what Middlesbrough do and more, the game should take care of itself. If we don't match their intensity, and like you said, we've got wind and rain and people feel sorry for themselves, we could come unstuck. But I don't want to see that. I don't want to have that as an excuse.
No excuse.
So, yeah, you're right. 17-0. Here we go. We've got someone saying 17-0. Lloris hat-trick. He's on. I don't
think I want to see Lloris out of his books after Saturday.
No, I don't want to see none of that.
Oh, my God.
Someone saying a hat-trick. What is that? Yeah, I don't know what that was, but it's supposed to be a hat-trick, I think. Nice one, boys. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Michael.
Truth sets you free. Sorry, State, split on the keyboards. I was going to say spit. I don't want to spit on the keyboards. The truth is free. 24-1. Inexcusable conceded one. I'm fuming. People having a laugh with Spurs. Let's not have. We just want to win the game tomorrow. Like I said, I'll take a 1-0, but I'm saying 2. Sean's saying it's 3-1. That is it. We are done for this preview. See us. Catch up with us tomorrow after the game finishes. If it is extra time and penalties, obviously it'll be a little bit later, but around about the 10 o'clock mark, that's when we hope to do this again. Sean, thank you very much for your important what's the word I'm looking for? Views, opinions. Well done for that.
Yes.
Input. We'll have more inputs.
Absolutely no expertise behind it, by the way. Just years of experience.
There's plenty of expertise in there. It's like years and years of watching Spurs. So we've done that.
I've taken to dyeing my hair now. That's what Spurs have done to me.
I've taken to not having hair. That's what Spurs have done to me.
It was that or that, yeah. So I think the barber next time.
No worries. But no, thank you very much, Sean. That was brilliant. Thank you to the viewers. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. Look out for the rest of the shows this week as well. We've got Talking Points on Thursday. We'll also have Art Sid as well during the week, Friday. And then on to next week. Preview show for the Everton game will be on Saturday and the Everton review show on the Monday. So plenty to look forward to. Thank you very much, Sean. Thank you to all the viewers watching. It is time for us to go. Come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs!